final piece of coverage from KingsCast at HockeyFest 2009, we present a special interview with longtime Kings TV play-by-play announcer and Hall of Famer, Bob Miller.
A writer in Washington came to me and he said, I'm doing an article for LA Magazine on Jack Kent Cooke, and they tell me you have some stories. And I said, yeah, I do. So we sat down before a game. I told him all these stories. He called me about 2 weeks later. He said, did you see the magazine? I said, yeah. He said, did I quote you correctly? I said, yes. Why? Well, he said, Mr. Cooke called me. He said, Miller was a disgruntled employee. None of that ever happened. I said, well, that all happened. It's the honest truth. He said, well, good, because I'm going to reprint that article in Washingtonian magazine, and that's where Cooke was living at the time.
Oh, that's
so Cooke was out here for the start of the season, and he didn't own the team anymore, so I thought, well, I'm going to call him and tell him, yes, those happened, those stories were true. You know, he's not going to intimidate me. I don't work for him anymore. So I had some notes down there, and we were opening a season on a Thursday. We played Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. Cooke was on the Daily News at that time. He was in town. So I put a call in on Friday. I said, I'd like to talk to Mr. Cooke. You know, I'm getting really brave. She said, well, he's left California, but I'll give him the message. So he doesn't call on Friday, doesn't call Saturday, Sunday. Monday, I'm home, Judy's gone, and my notes are upstairs, and I've forgotten all about it. Phone rings, the woman says, is this Mr. Miller? I said, yes. Hold for Mr. Cooke. No, my notes are upstairs. Now I'm all nervous again. And he comes on and he says, you called me. I said, yes, I did, Mr. Cooke. I understand you're upset about that magazine article. I'm more than upset. I'm mortified that you would spread those lies. I said, well, those were the truth. I'm sorry you feel that way. Well, I do. Goodbye. And slams down the phone. So I saw Bruce McNall on the plane. He always wanted to hear Cooke's stories. So I told him that story, and at the end I said, Bruce, don't ever sell the team back to Cooke, or I'm gone here. I'm the first one out of here. Those stories are not true. You're spreading falsehoods. Jack Kent Cooke put Chick Hearn in charge of finding a hockey announcer, and I don't know how happy Chick was with that, because, but I had sent some material in 1972 and didn't get the job, and so I decided to send some more material and everything, and found out the Lakers were coming into Chicago, and so I was down there and I waited for about 5 hours, and Chick was always the first one off the bus and the first one up to his room. The key in his hand, it took about 20 seconds. So I waited about 5 hours for him to come in there, and I said, introduce myself, and oh yeah, he said, I got your material and I really like it. I might have something for you. I said, okay, good. Bang, he was gone. And I thought, you know, I had about a 30-second meeting with him and waited 5 hours. But about 2 or 3 weeks later, he called and said, come on out, we want to talk to you about the job. So Chick and I had a real good relationship. We never saw each other too much during the year, because either they'd be on the road and we'd be home, or vice versa. And we were both involved in, you know, on off nights we didn't go. He didn't come down to hockey games, and I didn't go to Laker games. And But yeah, a great friend and instrumental in me getting the job. I've always enjoyed talking to the fans, and it goes back to when I was a sportscaster in Wisconsin and went down to Wrigley Field and to do some interviews. And it was early in the morning, and I'm walking through the stands, and Lloyd Pettit, who did the Blackhawks and the Cubs, is sitting there. I had never met him. I went up, introduced myself, and he said, oh, great, nice to meet you. And he said, do you want to come up in the booth in the 7th inning? I do the 7th and 8th innings. Come on up, sit down with me. So I said, yeah, I'd love to do that. So I go up, sit down with him, and he's doing the game. I've never forgotten how nice he was to just somebody in the profession who, I mean, he could have said, hi, nice to meet you, I got to go. That's always left an impression with me. And I love talking to Kings fans about hockey. The other thing in my mind, you know, you don't ever want to treat someone poorly and have them walk away and then tell their friends, what a jerk he is. Because you never know who they are or where you're going to see it. I was really impressed with Dustin Brown the other night when when he got up there and with no notes gave a really good talk about what the team expects and what the players expect from themselves this year, and especially the one line when he said, "I used to look over and see 20 individuals, now I see a team." And I think that's the feeling. And the other thing that I had mentioned, at the end of last year, we were going around the league, in the East especially, and we would see pro scouts with other teams who would say, "You guys are a year or two away. You have a tremendous nucleus of young players." And the reason I put so much faith in that is that these are the guys who evaluate talent. And they weren't our people telling us that. They were other teams saying, "Boy, you've got some outstanding players." So, along with the strides that they made last year in cutting down goals against and penalty kill, we need more scoring. And I hope we've addressed that with Ryan Smith and Justin Williams all year, being healthy. So I'm really excited about some strides they can make this year. Every year about this time, late August and September, I get excited about the season starting. And and I still feel good. I still feel that I can do the job, and there's going to come a time when either in my mind I say I'm not able to keep up with this sport, or I'm making mistakes that I shouldn't be making, or I have the feeling that I really wish the season wasn't starting, and that'd be the time to say, okay, that's it. I've had enough of it. But right now, this is the last year of my contract, but they've said it's a lifetime contract. You'll find out whose lifetime. I got it on tape in front of about 12,000 people.